When Broadway dimmed its lights, 97,000 theater professionals were left without work. However, if there is one thing this community knows how to do, it is pivot, and that's exactly what stage manager Caskey Hunsader has done. Caskey, thank you so much for having me. Do we call this your apartment? Do we call this the home of the Stagedoor Candle Company? Do we call it the shipping and fulfillment center?
It is all of the above. This is where I make the candles, it's where I pack them, and it's where I store them.
Okay, and first of all, I just wish everybody could smell this apartment right now. These candles are so incredible. However, we have to go back over a year ago. Let's go February. Let's go beginning of March. Where were you?
I was on the national tour of Miss Saigon working, and we were down in Florida. And, you know, it was that week that everything started shutting down, and we heard Thursday night the Broadway shows had all closed, and we got word that they were going to be canceling. We were all going to go home that next Monday. So, not knowing if we had a show to come back to or not, we just kind of packed up everything and I flew home. And I've been in this apartment ever since.
Well, you're making good use of the apartment.
Yes. I'm glad I enjoy my apartment because I've been stuck here for a year. It's the longest I've been here all at once.
And then what was the light bulb moment for you when you said, you know what, I gotta do something, and hey, why not candles?
I was on the internet. I was just looking for something to do, figuring out something that I could make in this apartment, and just kind of snapped in my head, candles. My first batch was 160 candles, and I was terrified I wasn't gonna sell any of them. And I thought, well, if I don't, then I've got Christmas presents for friends for like the next several years. And cut to 6 months later, over 500 orders shipped, and right now in my warehouse, I've got about 1,800 candles sitting there, so it's a far cry from the 160 I originally made.
I love that you came up with a way to just give everybody a little taste of Broadway, a little scent of Broadway, you know, while we're still on this intermission.
Yeah, every one of my fragrances is inspired specifically by a character from Broadway, and I just wanted to tie it tightly to theater so that people could bring the memory of a show into their home and enjoy it. So you can light a candle, put on a Broadway cast recording, and like try to have that feeling of theater again.
What is it about the theater community, the resiliency of you all? Like, I think about so many people who you've had no other option but to pivot because your entire industry is on an intermission.
It's feast and famine in a good time. So we are used to those periods of famine, and it's always about the hustle, even when you're doing well in your industry. No matter what, we keep figuring out the next way to do it, ways to reinvent ourselves. So we were primed at the pump already to figure out ways to make it go, even if we didn't have a job before the pandemic hit.
Last but not least, I do want to talk about the charitable component because I know that's very big for you.
Absolutely. I've always been a supporter of Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. They're a wonderful organization that helps millions of people all across the country. A portion of every sale goes to them because I think they're so important, and they're helping out a lot of people in this pandemic right now.
When Broadway does reopen,
yes,
whose dressing rooms would you like to see these in?
Everyone's. Everyone's. I've got so many friends who work on Broadway, and I have care packages ready to go. Like, as soon as their show opens, they're getting a candle. You know, you can't always have a lit candle in a dressing room, which is why we have the room sprays and the oils as well. Like, I've made sure to have my bases covered. But yeah, I can't wait to shower my friends with these gifts and let them celebrate being back in a dressing room.